U.S. Navy Corsair fighter jet on the Korean battlefield was testing its landing on an aircraft carrier. The pilot looked nervous, shockily flying the plane toward the carrier. The crew on the deck hoped he would succeed, but the pilot next to scoffed, believed that this pilot was bound to crash. On the other side, the pilot grew more and more nervous, so much so that he didn't notice the signal officer's instructions and charged straight toward the carrier. As a result, the plane failed to catch the arresting wire and bounced back into the air. The first landing attempt had failed, but the pilot didn't give up. He circled around the aircraft carrier, determined to try again. Seeing this, the crew on deck quickly grabbed fire extinguishers, watching as the shaking aircraft approached the carrier. At this moment, the pilot's hands on the control stick had already started trembling. He could only bite his lip tightly to relieve the pressure. Then, under the signal officer's guidance, the fighter jet finally hooked onto the arresting wire at the moment of landing. The pilot took a deep breath. He had finally passed the test and was ready to head to the Korean battlefield for support. Next, it was another pilot's turn to take the test. He confidently took off in his fighter jet, wanting to show the other pilots how it's done and prove that he was the best pilot. As the fighter jet got closer to the carrier, the pilot remained completely relaxed, even glancing at the fish in the sea below from time to time. But by the time he snapped back to focus, his plane was already about to crash into the carrier. The pilot had no choice but to make a sharp turn and plunge straight into the ocean. The rescue team quickly rushed to the bow of the ship, but by then the pilot had already paid the price for his arrogance. Finally, 10 pilots who passed the test took off in their Corsair fighters, flying toward Korea, ready to bomb the supply lines of the Chinese volunteer army. Soon they reached the mission site. Just as they were about to begin their bombing run, a MiG-15 suddenly appeared behind them.